amazing, and we see it all day long. And so thank you very much. We just want to say keep up the good work. And really the only thing that we offer are services as a county government. And so really the people offer those services, and when we have these quality of people, we're just, I think, exceeding that service level. So thank you very much.
Commissioner, thank you. Really appreciate that. And I tell my staff this fairly regularly. You know, I'm the one that gets to stand up and take the accolades, but the reality of it is our day-to-day operations, they happen right out here with these good folks. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate our staff. We have tremendous people at the Weber County Sheriff's Office. And so thank you so much, Commissioner, for that recognition of them. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Okay, so, we need to push one item we have really quickly that was under action. I want to push it up in front of consent items. We don't have any issues with that. Legal, we're good.
Hey, don't forget Lexi on your way out, just saying.
And
Smile, Lexi, wave your hand.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to support our Sheriff's Office. We appreciate it. We'd like to take item number 5 under action items and review it right now. It's a request for approval of resolution. Fatima, where are we at, do you think? Are we at 15, 16? I can't remember. 16.
Good.
Resolution 16 of the County Commissioners of Weber County appointing a representative to the governing board of the Utah County's insurance pool. We have legal presenting that, but I don't know if Commissioner Gibson.
I'll do it. So I made a commitment long ago that whenever I talked about this item, that I would, or whenever we had something like this on the agenda, that I would do the best that I could to educate about the importance of it, of the Utah County's indemnity pool. And so every time we've had a nomination or anything like that, I try to talk about it. This is something that I've grown to be very passionate about. I am so grateful that 20 plus years ago, some folks in these chairs had the foresight to take upon them a very difficult challenge. They had no idea how they were going to continue to absorb the double and sometimes, yes, even triple-digit increases to their insurance premiums. Nobody knew how to handle law enforcement facilities, jails, some of the challenges that we deal with as a county, and we were constantly at the mercy of the commercial insurance marketplace. And so there was a little bit of a movement, and it was tough. This county joined in with others and put a lot of money forward to say, we are going to take this upon ourselves and learn how to self-insure ourselves as a group of counties. Now, it's a little bit of a challenge because there's only 29 counties in the state, and only about one of them, well, 2, have the resources to completely self-insure themselves. The rest of us have to join with one another in order to do so. And because of that joining and that interlocal agreement that created the Utah County's indemnity pool, it has been a completely different world. In fact, from the time that this entity was created until now, the indemnity pool our Weber County insurance rates have actually decreased. So we go from a place of double and triple digit increases to a place of flat, actually decreasing our rate. That doesn't mean we don't pay more, because we constantly do more stuff. We have more vehicles, we have more buildings, so we pay more. But the negative pressure that has been placed on the marketplace because of this indemnity pool has been almost immeasurable over the years. And not to mention the fact that they're able to focus specifically on our needs and create an insurance product that covers us for just about anything that we can think of. In fact, as we think of it, we quickly move to remedy any of those challenges. And because we're the board, we make up the board as an interlocal agreement, we can do that. So it's a tremendously positive thing, I think, for our county and for the state of Utah. Now, let me just mention that as this indemnity pool has become successful, you can imagine that others in the commercial marketplace may not want us to succeed all that much, because they see the same thing we have, which is that this has been a tremendous stabilizing force on the marketplace. And we have seen tremendous marketing efforts in order to pull counties away from their opportunity to self-insure. And they've thrown just about everything in the book, from ice cream to meals to whatever it can, to get counties to pull away from this interlocal agreement. And they've been successful with a few. But as I studied this and learned over the last few years, as I've been able to serve on this board, I realized that everyone has to come to that conclusion on their own. And I remember the time when I was sitting in my board meeting for USIP, one of the first ones, that I remember when it finally just clicked. And I just thought, this is something that I'm willing to fight for. And so during my time as the president of the Utah Association of Counties, I made a tremendous effort to make sure that we reunified ourselves with our indemnity pool, that it was once again part of the Utah Association of Counties umbrella like it once was, and that we were able to truly work together in order to meet all of the needs of counties, all of the needs that we meet as an association through interlocal agreement and through our indemnity pool with a different interlocal agreement. And so I remember as that clicked, I moved forward and we made some tough changes as part of the association to do that. Now going forward, I have served on this board for 4 years, and I feel like I'm doing some good, and I like it. I love it. In fact, I love what I've learned. But again, I care so deeply about our opportunity to continue to do this that I want to make sure that everyone who is a part of the administration of this county has the opportunity to understand these things as well. And so at this point, I brought forward the opportunity, the request that I step back as the representative from Weber County on the board of directors of this interlocal agency, and that we give one of the other two commissioners the opportunity to do so, because they're certainly capable. They certainly understand what is necessary, and I think it will be a good opportunity to really understand the full mission of what the indemnity pool is and what it offers. And I just think it's going to be a positive experience for them and for everyone involved. And so while I'll miss it, I think it's the right thing to do, and I hope that we continue in strong partnership with this pool and the commissioners. In this particular case, I think it's the idea is to nominate Commissioner Ebert. That's what's in the interlocal. Maybe it's something that Commissioner Harvey will have the opportunity to do in the future. In the past, it really hasn't moved around a lot. It's been one of those things that I think that one commissioner, when they've inherited it, is kind of stuck with it. But I think there's wisdom in moving this one around, just from the standpoint that there's an awful lot to learn, an awful lot that can be learned and be done. So with that, it's a little bit of a heavy heart that I do this, because I care about this organization and this group, and mainly because of what they do for the county, and that really reflects back to individual people and how important they are to our mission here at the county. So with that, I'm sure that maybe other commissioners will have something to say, but I would like to move approval of this resolution, which is resolution number 16, appointing a representative to the governing board of the Utah County's indemnity. It says insurance, but it's indemnity pool, which in this particular case would be Commissioner Ebert, and wish him all of the success and luck as he takes over this assignment in the future.
I have a motion on resolution 16. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Gibson,
Aye.
Commissioner Harvey,
Aye.
and Chair Ebert.
Aye. Thank you. It passes. Commissioner Harvey, I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, I think that I appreciate your openness and the fact that others can learn and glean and grow is I think is wise, and it's great for the folks of this county to have 3 people trained rather than just one. The duplication of efforts, or to have a backup, is awesome, and I think it'll be good in the long run.
Agreed.
Positive move.
Thank you.
I feel very strongly we'll continue to have a commitment to be, as we are, a founding member of USEP. So thank you very much, Commissioner.
You bet.
I think he ought to have the rest of the afternoon off with that.
You're excused to your other prior 15
have-
appointments.
I do have another meeting, so if you need me, call me.
We'll call. All right. Thank you very much, Commissioner Gibson. We'll move back to consent items under F. Item number 1 is a request for approval of warrants 1052 through 1063 and 416183 through 416454 in the amount of $1,796,945.45. A request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $103,352.93. Item number 3, request from the Weber County Roads Department for approval to surplus a 1995 Galleon dresser, 850.
Have you ever seen a galleon
I
dresser?
have not, but I think we put that on there twice, unless we have more than one. We possibly could. Number 4, request for the Weber County Human Resource Department for approval to surplus 2 typewriters. Wow, got rid of 2 typewriters a long time ago. Request for the Weber County Commission Office for approval to surplus office furniture. Number 6, request for Weber Morgan Health Department for approval to surplus printer, keyboards, and other office supplies. Item number 7 is a request to set the date of May 9th, 2017 at 10 o'clock in the morning for a public hearing to consider and take action on a proposal to amend the following sections of the Weber County Code as listed in that consent item request. And that is it. That is the end of the consent items. Any questions or thoughts, Commissioner Harvey?
Move for approval.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Before I second that, Mr. Hatch, do you have anything to add on the POs or warrants?
Bet. I have lots to add. We had 21 purchase orders for $103,000 last week. 27% of that, or $28,000, was for the library for audio, visual materials, and equipment. 19%, or $20,000, was for body cameras for the sheriff. 11%, or $11,000, was for the roads department, primarily for HDPE pipe. 10%, or $10,000, there were actually 3 POs for that amount. One was for the garage for heavy equipment parts, and I'm guessing those parts are for heavy equipment and that the parts are heavy as well. 10% recreation concession supplies, and 10% for the transfer station for equipment maintenance. Well, that joke just died, didn't it?
I laughed inside.
Thank you.
I caught the heavy joke.
Okay, I appreciate that. I'll keep my day job. We wrote 285 checks this week for $1.8 million. 37% of that, $660,000, was for 911 dispatch, and that's the construction of their new center. 13%, or $233,000, was for tourism. This is for the ski bus service as well as the monthly payment to the Convention Visitor Bureau. 11%, or $191,000, was the monthly payment for the paramedic fund. 9%, or $169,000, was the monthly payment to Weber Human Services. 6%, or $110,000, was for our public defender's office for the contracted services that they provide. 6%, or $103,000, was for Weber Housing Authority. That was for monthly payments and some repairs. And then 5%, or $93,000, was for the jail. That was to cover counseling, culinary costs, and utilities.
So again, a lot of times you see those large numbers, but they're usually associated with some type of project. And one of the largest, again, for our list was the Dispatch Local Building Authority pass-through funds for the building of the new 911 dispatch center at 37%, or $660,000. So you got to kind of glean out those large items. They're usually associated with some type of project. So thank you very much, Mr. Hatch.
Welcome.
Commissioner Harvey, did you have any comments?
No,
Okay,
I
I'll
still stand on my
Okay.
first, or my,
I will second your motion. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Consent items pass. Thank you very much. We'll move to action items listed under G. Item number 1, request for approval to ratify a contract by and between Weber County, Fort Benaventura, Mountain Men for demonstration at the Easter Rendezvous held at Fort Benaventura on April 13th through the 16th, 2017. Mr. Todd Ferrario.
Thank you, gentlemen. This contract is a result of an RFP to find a new contractor for our Easter Rendezvous. Last time I alluded to the group that had done it for the last 20-odd years was dissolving internally. This new group is made up of a number of people from that group and some new members. They did an outstanding job. Not sure why this is after the rendezvous, but I know we had some issues with some permitting and getting this contract done. But it was very successful. We look like we're about 17% up from the rendezvous last year, and it was a huge success. So we would like to turn this in the future into a multi-year. This was kind of their proving point. They asked to do a lot, and they actually got a lot done. It was very impressive. So in the future, we're going to probably try to go to a 2 or 3 year agreement with this group since they've proven the point. So
Wonderful.
I'd like to hear your take on the comments made to you by those who attended because of the change.
probably the biggest overall one was a family-friendly environment. I was not a division director over Parks and Rec last year. I did go to the rendezvous. There has been some deterioration in kind of the product that was offered, putting it nicely. This group came in, did a tremendous amount of work just to help us get the park ready. As you know, we had some flooding issues prior.
Only 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was fun.
Some flooding issue is not
Some flooding.
Slept a few nights
only
there.
like one foot under, totally underwater.
18 inches. but
Sorry.
Okay. So not only was it clean, they did a lot of kids' activities. They did Thursday a school day, which is the first time we had ever done that. I don't think they realized what 700 children showing up at 9 o'clock at the same time looked like. I thought it was going to be chaos. They did a tremendous job. The vendors that were there told us by Friday, which was usually their opening day, they had already paid for more than their spot and their time to be there. And that does not include the 2,500 people that showed up on Saturday, which was a beautiful day. And they did a public Easter egg hunt on Sunday that was well attended also. And if you have not been to one of these, it's pretty fun to watch. I mean, aerial archery, seriously. They throw stuff up in the air and everybody shoots at it. I was like, what are we doing? But the arrows are made in such a way that they only fly about 50 feet. But it's pretty funny because when you sit and read this, you don't realize actually what's going to happen. They're a phenomenal group. And as you will see in the next action item, they help us more than just in this event. So it's really a privilege to work with them. There's been things that are actually county projects that they've helped us with as well. So we're asking for ratification of this, and hopefully next year we can bring you a multi-year agreement.
Absolutely. I absolutely would move to ratify this agreement.
Thank you.
I have a motion to ratify the agreement. I will second that. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes. Thank you very much. Item number 2, request for approval of a contract by and between Weaver County and Fort Benaventura Mountain Men for meetings and gatherings to be held at Fort Benaventura in exchange for assistance with school groups and service projects. Todd.
Again, this is the same group. So we have done this for many years. This is the new group that is being in this contract instead. Really what this is a fee waiver. They hold some meetings and they hold some shoots down at the fort. We waive those fees. They help us with, last year it was 23 different school groups that came down. They have gentlemen that come and do the primitive skills. They also come at the ramp days that we have down at the fort, which is overwhelming to our staff without some help. And last year we had 17 different groups that came and helped. And it will be probably bigger this year. So this is a waive of fees for their normal activities. In return, they help us not only with projects at the fort, and Commissioner Harvey, you walked across the great new bridge that they built for us, but they do a lot of activities with the children that we do not have the bandwidth or the skills to do.
So for those in the audience and for those who might be watching, this is a way for the county to get thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars worth of services for just a little bit of rent in exchange. It's a great business move. It's a good trade. Plus, it invests those who have the passion to do this kind of thing to have that investment. I personally witnessed. It's a phenomenal get for the county. So, good move, Todd. Thank you. And I would move because it's a good business move and smart. I would move to approve this contract.
I will second that. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Todd. Item number 3, request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Maximus Extreme Living Solutions to have 3 Maximus Extreme Living Solution homes on display at the 2017 Weber County Fair. Jan Wilson.
Good
Big
morning,
day.
Commissioners.
Big day.
Okay, this is a really misleading title to this contract because the Maximus Extreme Living Solutions is actually the Tiny House Nation. So we've contacted a gentleman that builds these, and he is local here in Weber County, and he has had these tiny houses at the Home and Garden Show. And we've been trying to get in touch with him, and we finally got in touch with him, and he agreed to come. So this is a contract that Weber County would pay him $3,000 for him to bring those 3 houses and place them in the exhibit hall during the fair for people to actually go through and see what they are. So, do you have
Thank
any
you.
questions other than it's a very odd title?
This creates opportunity for you then to change things around at the fair, because in the exhibit hall was,
So we have all of the home arts, fine arts, craft arts, photography. Our plan as of right now is to move 4-H over into the rec hall. So that will make a whole new layout in those 2 buildings for the fair.
big change.
Wonderful. I'm open for a motion.
Move for approval.
I have a motion to approve a contract by and between Weber County and the Tiny House / Maximus Extreme Living Solution. I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It passes. Thank you very much. Request for approval of contract by and between Weber County and Gray Matter Marketing for marketing and advertising services for the 2017 Weber County Fair.
This contract has been in the works. I'm looking at the date, sometime since November. We did a bid process this year. And this company has worked with us for several years and also worked for the Utah State Fair. They come with good recommendations and have really fulfilled their duties at the county fair in the past. The contract's for $50,000, and they do all of our advertising. They do all the media buys. They do all the radio. They actually update our website. They've been trying to get me to figure out how to do that, and I think I actually got part of it this year. So they're really good to work with. We have also used them for other events at the fair, or other events at the Golden Spike. And so I'm just here to ask your approval for that contract for $50,000 to Gray Matter.
Commissioner Harvey.
Great history, great people, a great understanding of what we do. Move for approval.
I have a motion to approve a contract by and between Weber County and Gray Matter Marketing for the advertising services for the fair. I'll second that. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It passes. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Jan. Item number 6, request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and the County Services Sport, Inc., CSS, for administrative support in coordinated centrally assessed property issues, appeals, legislation, and reviews. Mr. Ulibarri.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you
Good
for the opportunity to come up and talk to you again.
About assessing.
Yeah, about assessing. Everybody's favorite subject, right? Certainly is mine. This contract with County Support Services enables Weber County to handle centrally assessed appeals more efficiently than we have in the past. So what centrally assessed properties are, there are properties that are not assessed locally by the County Assessor's Office. Rather, they are assessed by the Utah State Tax Commission. Some examples of centrally assessed properties would be the Union Pacific Railroad, or a utility company, or a mine, or a gravel pit. What this contract essentially does is it gives the counties, or gives Weber County the opportunity to collaborate with other counties on our level of participation in these centrally assessed appeals as compared to the way we used to do it before. It's a much cleaner operation. It gives us the opportunity to decide if and when we want to appeal and to what level. It's a lot better for us. Any questions?
I'm going to throw this kind of at you. I can't remember the number. They sent us a list of all of the counties and the amount of property and value they had within centrally assessed. Do you remember that number? I can't remember if it's like $650 million worth of centrally assessed property that we have that we have no control over how it's assessed, and the counties have been individually dealing with the state when they have an appeal to that number, or as last year there was a change in how the state did the equation on centrally assessed, which we really had no input into. And so this just allows us better coordination from a state level with all the counties working in conjunction when there's a centrally assessed issue. And I know that there is a tremendous amount of property value in there. I can't remember the amount, but it was a lot.
It's approximately 6 to 8% of our total taxable value in the county.
So that's what this agreement is, working in conjunction with other counties throughout the state on centrally assessed.
I might add, Mr. Ulibarri was not only chosen by his peers in the other 29 counties of the state of Utah, but also many other elected officials to represent all of the state of Utah in matters like this. I have a high degree of trust and confidence in his ability and his actions moving forward. So without hesitation, I move to approve this item.
I will second that. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Ulibarri. Now's the time open for public comment. Is there anyone from the public that wishes to take a minute? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to our last item, item I. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Do I need a second of those?
Well, I'm sitting here thinking the longer I can belabor this awkward pause, the shorter your lunch is.
You have to pay to her, not.
Sorry, it's happy birthday, Stephanie. It's so embarrassing being called out, isn't it? A second on the removal of the adjournment.
Okay, it's been motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned for the day. Thank you very much for attending today.